Greetings, everyone. Welcome. Here we are at a Core Set 2021 draft. I didn't even ask chat what we're going to draft today. I only asked if we were going to do Premier or Traditional because I was feeling M21. This is probably the last time I'll play this on stream for a while. I'm going to be on stream tomorrow. Then I'm taking Friday and Monday off before the big preview stream the following Wednesday. And in the meantime, kind of a farewell draft to our friend Core Set 2021 draft. I really have enjoyed this format. Again, I've said I don't let core sets off the hook for fun when it comes to draft, because draft is not beholden to, the things that make a core set good or bad for constructed have nothing to do with what makes a draft experience good or bad. You can make a fantastic draft experience out of some very basic card mechanics and still inject some complexity at rare and uncommon and everything. And it's like people get a little worried that the game is dumbed down at core sets or whatever. This game cannot be dumbed down. You know what I mean? Like, Magic is so complicated at its core that the core sets, despite not being as complex as some of the large flavored sets, they're great. They provide that puzzle, that Magic puzzle that our brains love to solve. And really what I'm looking for is synergy. I want multiple archetypes that are viable. I want to be able to feel like I can go long if I've got the deck for it. I want to feel like I can be the fun police if I've got the deck for that. And really, I feel that that Core Set 2021 has delivered on that. I've enjoyed my experience, and while I have my leanings, I think we've all kind of landed towards kind of the Naya side of town in terms of aggressive green, red, white based decks being pretty powerful here. But blue-red is also powerful. Black-blue, even as the non-Naya color pair, can end up with the tools to get there. Black-white life gain, if the tools, if the payoffs are there, can get there. So I don't know. I think this set has really delivered, and I appreciate it. And if you want your Magic cards really delivered and appreciate it, you're going to want to check out my sponsor, Card Kingdom, because they deliver Magic cards like nobody else. They have lots of Zendikar Rising previews right now, and you can pre-order all that stuff if you've been seeing previews and going, ooh, time to jump on. And maybe you, on average, companies set the pre-order prices a little higher to hedge, but this is a time to be a little bit smarter than the stores. Maybe you can figure out something Card Kingdom hasn't and find them lower on a price than you think is correct and snap up that mythic for $10 or whatever, and then watch it become the $25 hotness, and you can feel really smart about that. Or just know that you like the new stuff and are excited to have it locked down, and you'll know that it'll get to you as soon as possible if you put in your pre-order with cardkingdom.com. And of course, you're going to do it via my affiliate link in the panels below or in the YouTube notes, so that they know you got there from here, and it helps keep me on the air. We literally talk about my numbers, the number of people who go make purchases after using my affiliate link, and the number of people who go and visit. So it does matter. Going and creating an account there or something would be nice to get that attributed to me too. But it all helps. So even if you don't buy anything, even going there and checking it out on my behalf is kindness. So let's see if the packs are going to be kind. We have 10,000 gold. We can play this one on the house. And the one thing that is funny, though, is like you commit to the draft here before you even know how long it's going to take. I might take some take some AMAs on other cards you want to talk about, because we may just be waiting here for a while for this pod to fill up. So if anybody wants to throw out some other cards, I'm happy to take some AMA or some preview card suggestions here. Who knows? Maybe it'll snap full, but all right. True has suggested one here. Nahiri's Binding. Ideally, send me Scryfall links, but I can get there. I'm going to kind of move this. Well, we'll just listen out. I go to left monitor again so we can look at this together, and we'll keep an ear out for the game start, for the draft starting. Nahiri's Binding is 1 white for an enchantment aura at common. Oh, let me guess, I haven't read the rules text. It's a 1 white enchantment at common that is talking about binding. This is going to be our O-ring-ish, or some kind of arrest, exile, return to the battlefield effect. Enchant creature or planeswalker. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. So just a passivism effect. Kind of, I said O-ring, but it's not exiling. It's just doing the arrest. So double white is what jumps out at me here. When you see R&D choosing to make a common have 2 colors in its cost, what they're trying to do is make sure that this card gets to those players, that this is not going to be a splash card. So it's a pretty high cost. You know, you're going to want to be able to bind stuff on turn 3 sometimes. So to reliably do that, you know, you need a lot. You need like 10 white sources in your deck to do that reliably, but you don't need to do it on 3 all the time. You're happy to cast this 4, 5, 6 along with some other spell, so there's that. But looks like this is going to be a staple card for the format. One thing that constantly affects aura quality is the availability of bounce and naturalize effects in the format, especially in this best of 1 world we find ourselves in now a lot of the time with Arena. You got to ask yourselves, are there a lot of main deckable bounce spells and a lot of main deckable naturalize effects? And if so, these types of effects become a lot less useful. I would also note the it affects planeswalkers. You know, from a limited standpoint, that is not really a factor, but planeswalker as a word that exists on rules text on commons is somewhat of a new development. For a long time, R&D really resisted even referring to planeswalkers on commons, because it teased a type of card that a newer player might not have the ability to understand. It is a rare feeling word. You know, like if you look at some of the, like where's that, you know, terminate is black and red for destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated at common, and then at sorcery make that target creature or planeswalker, and it became rare in Return to Ravnica, for example. So historically, even the ability to interact with planeswalkers as rules text on a card somewhat made it uncommon or rare. And now these days they've been putting that language more on commons, and it makes sense because we've been seeing planeswalkers at uncommon. So if they're going to drag planeswalker rarity down, it makes sense to increase the frequency of interaction with them in at common. Although we've had common planeswalkers outside of War of the Spark. There was that Chandra cycle in M20. I'm trying to think if there's been any others. Maybe not. But anyway, just as a design concern, when and how to use the word planeswalker was an interesting decision that really Wizards resisted doing for a long time, but have opened up on. And I think it's a good thing. I like that. It's fine to tease this. Like, if you are a new player and you get, like, you read this, you're like, enchant creature or planeswalker? What's that? I don't know. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. And you're like, okay, well, I get how this would affect a creature. What the heck is a planeswalker? So if you don't know what they are, I think it prompts you to go look them up and see what they are and get excited about them, since they're the superheroes of your product. Yeah. So that's where I'm at on that. But well, it's going to be a high pick, but a very, very white pick. No, we're definitely not there yet. It makes a different sound when it's actually ready to draft. You can see we're not quite there yet. That's a little bit weird too. I mean, I don't know, but I think you can get it in context. I mean, with all games, you know, it's easy to forget how complicated it is to learn Magic once you get really used to the game. But we learn new games all the time, and it's always filled with terms you got to go look up. Like whatever, Google MTG Permanent, you'll learn what it is, right? So it's almost like the internet has helped Wizards loosen up these types of restrictions too, because they know people can easily look up this information now. Yeah, Smarty Ear, that's what we were talking about earlier, that really the point of an oppressive mana cost like this, a double mana at common, is to ensure that it only makes it to those players. Here, what I'll do also is we can move this. It's a little bit behind chat, but you can still read chat, and we can also note when that fills up. Who's got another card for me? We still got some time to kill here. Media, nobody knows what Shuriken does. I never carried the comprehensive rules printed out. I never carried them, but I think I did have the old printout of the comprehensive rules, yeah. Oh, totally, Krauser. Yeah, that's what I was saying. In the future, I'm just going to take this whole week off because it is too light on the old content and frankly the audience. Thank you so much for being here, by the way, given that, you know, I really appreciate it. I know you could be doing other things with your time right now. I know this isn't the most exciting time in Magic, but drafting is still fun and streaming is still fun and you all are still great. What are we doing here? Tutelage. Go out with the tutelage deck. Nothing else here even close. Try and wheel this protege. Try and wheel... we're not wheeling a Sky Scanner. This pack is so bad, there's no way we do. Into Pursued Whale. Do these belong in the same deck even? I mean, we just get Unsubstantiate or even a Shock here. Shock, Teferi's Tutelage, blue-red spells is all really good. But the Whale's good. And this is kind of funny. Early on in the format, I was pursued by the Whale. The Whale was chasing me in every draft. Yeah, cutting blue would be interesting, but or worthwhile. I think it's Shock or Unsubstantiate, though, with this first pick. Anybody agree? Right on, True. That's really nice to hear. Anything I'm doing that helps people's lives is good on me. Yeah, should we just take the Shock? I feel like this is where my eye was. It's like, just take the Shock and let's go blue-red. Well, that's where I was leaning, and then seemed like people were on board there. We could take Larcenist to kind of force the tutelage here. How much do we want to marry the tutelage is one question. Transmogrify isn't any good, though. And again, there's not much worth shifting for. We could take the Sanctum and potentially get in on some Sanctums, but yeah, we could take Gems, but I don't even care about Gems on this account. Really, it's like Training might be the best card here. Possibly Kerr. Like Kerr with the Shock is not a bad pick, but I'm going to take Larcenist. Cuts the blue. I want to try and play this tutelage. It's a very powerful card if we can get there. I believe See the Truth does not trigger tutelage, but might still be the pick. Yeah, it's put into your hand. It's not draw. We could just get a Sky Scanner. We could take a Drowsy Tea, though. Probably just need the Drowsy Tea as the strongest card here. And continue to look. Maybe abandon. We could abandon the blue and end up green-red. But this is just, I think, so much. It's just such the best card here that we should take it. Yeah, Jinx. The scanner is certainly playable in just about anything, but Pteranodon pick 4 is nearly signally, is somewhat signally to me, so I'm going to take it. And yeah, the draw extra is the whole color pair. So I like a Rain here over Frantic and Spined, but if we wheel either of these, great. Right on, Jinx. Wizardry. We took this Drowsy Tea, but haven't seen any other green. And Wizardry with the Shock and all this stuff says we could have this going on. But Unsubstantiate is pretty good. It could wheel. Like, not everybody even wants this card. Unsub stays open, but this is the best card, right? I'm inclined to take the Wizardry on that spec. I'm gonna, yeah, this is more guaranteed to make our deck, but I'm gonna take the Wizardry and see where we end up here, and kind of immediately rewarded with the Augur. Turn to Slag, playable here, but I'm gonna take Augur. That's true. I want to call out, Norbert calls out, last time we did Wizardry and Tutelage, we didn't play both, but we still had a good deck. I'm still following where the powerful cards are here. If it happens again, we don't play the Tutelage because we feel like we have an incredible Wizardry deck, I'm happy to win 7 times again, or whatever, you know. So this is fine. Thrill is good here. Here's our opening pack that didn't really have anything in it. We could take Greed, Turret Ogre as just super boring, but whatever. Yeah, I think this is, yeah, well, it's Ogre Crab, but Ogre blocks flyers, so let's take the flyer blocker. Hey, look, Unsubstantiate came back. That's great to see. Pyreling, it's not entirely impossible to consider this activating, but we're clear on Unsubstantiate here. Arsonist, maybe. It's not generally what you want to do in this type of deck, I have found, but we have good blue, but we haven't seen a ton of it. Like the blue has been kind of slight. I don't like the Anima here over just another Thrill. I see. Yeah. Well, we have one each of those right now. Bone Pit, we will try not to play. But it attacks, it blocks. So you can do worse. Looks like Pteranodon was a false signal there. And we're just trying to figure out what kind of red-blue deck we are. Rousing Reed. I think I like that over Geyser or Jester. Spore Web. Not for, we dipped a little into green, but there was just no real green after that Pteranodon. Maybe it was a heavy green pack or something, or just a really great pack. Lots of removal or something. Anybody disagree with the Reed? I think, yeah, I'm going to take it. It's doing what we want to do in that way. I'm going to take the Shock here over the Opt, try to wheel the Opt. It happens. Wheel that Cliffs, maybe. Here's an Opt, which I think I like here over even Geyser or Kerr. Don't have our like second Wizardry or whatever yet, but but I want to focus on the cheap side replacement spells to either trigger the tutelage or the wizardry, etc. It's all good on that front. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I like that. Geyser's fine, but I'm liking the cheap draw here. Singer. Looks like we're heading a little more towards the aggro side and take a Singer. Slag this one. Yeah, we could use a Overload, some Dragonfire, but I'll take a Slag. Really hope we don't play these Bone Pit Brutes. Get a bunch of these Singers, that'd be fine. Another Augur, Larcenist, or an Opt. 2 Augurs last time was a little much. I mean, but we really are doing the instant sorcery thing, so I think these are going to be pretty big. So I'm going to take another Augur over this Opt or Larcenist. Hobble Fiend, not amazing in the deck. We could just take a Rewind, but we're getting loaded at 4s I'm pretty happy with. So I'm going to go for the 2s where I'm not happy at all. Sometimes you just got to play curve fillers even if they're not amazing. Just talking about how full our 4s are, so I'm not expecting to play this Crab, but I'll take it over Vault Progress, which is really our other option. We are in best of 3, so you could make an argument that Crypt is somewhat sideboard material. Yeah, I'll take it, maybe. I have a hard time believing that we're going to do that even against a deck that's leveraging the graveyard for stuff. Havoc Jester is kind of the most attractive card here, but again, our 2s are so low, I'm just going to take a Cur. We need to get on board here early. So passing the sweet looking 5/5 for 5 for earlier action, and I'll take a second Cur on that front as well. We do have the 1 Arsonist. Haven't loved it in the format, but if we're just trying to survive until we can get goofy with our mid game, it can block a 2 toughness creature and do something. Here's another Hobble Fiend. So, we're throwing a bunch of stuff in our 2s now, like just out of, from 2s really suffering to, okay, we have some 2s. Yeah, I didn't wheel the land, which is a bit of a bummer. Here's a decent sideboard card. Take this land from somebody else, because we're mean. I don't know. A Mythic. How many of these do we have? 3 of 4. We can complete our Chromatic Orrery. What does it cost us? Cost us an Elder. I don't think we should take the Orrery. I think we should take the Elder. Thank you for the sub. Although, and yeah, Ghostlight and Elder are both good enough that I would take him over the Orrery. But I'm going to go for a cheaper. You hold down Alt. If you hold down Alt, it'll show you. Oh, baby. We did it. This is like constructed powerful. So, mwah! I shock your 2-drop and cast this 3/3 for 2. Another Augur. But geez, maybe we just want a Lofty Denial at this point over Augur number 3? I think Lofty Denial is better for us at this point. Yeah, Glide Master is a better 2 than something like a Hobble Fiend, but I don't think it's a priority. So I'm going to take Lofty Denial instead. Would I value Scry 2 about the same as Draw 1? A little less. I mean, here's the thing. Draw 1, you know what it does? It puts a card into your hand. You draw. You draw it. That's a big deal. Scry a million does not put a card into your hand. So that's what I want to call out there. We can talk about how close Scry whatever is to a draw, but it's not a draw. Another Singer or, yeah, Singer or Shock, right? Or Magmut 2 is quite appealing, but I think this is a Singer deck. Another Singer makes the Lofty Denials better too. And I really am happy with where we got on our 2s. And we have 2 Shock already. Yeah, let's do the Singer. Close one, Norbert. Onaki Ogre could just add some beef, or we can take weak ass removal at 4. You know what I think of Capture Sphere. I'm always pretty down on this as an option. I run it because you have to, but I don't love it, and you can't make me. But another Ogre. Probably just want more Singers. I'm gonna take the Capture Sphere over a generic 3-drop Ogre. But we'll see if we end up playing it. Oh, it's so good. I want the Mutt. I want the Weird. But how do we not take a Soul Seer? Look at what we're passing. Are we the only red drafter or something? Taking the Soul Seer. Keep ending up with these red options, you know, not the 2-drop we want. And then we get Unsubstantiate here. What we want for this Unsubstantiate is that we need like the Dowser or the, you know, return instant sorcery from your graveyard type stuff. Gaggle Master is awfully late for pick 8. I don't think we're going to splash green. We're never playing not this generically bad 4-drop. I guess we're pack 3. We're not splashing green. I'm just going to take Vault Progress. Literally nothing there for us of relevance. Same with kind of this pack. I'll take a Dart, but not these Gaggle Masters. Pitchburn Devil's ever going to be the choice? I don't think it is, but I also don't think Hobble Fiend number 3 is ever going to be the choice. So I could just take, but I'll take, we're playing best of 3, so I'll throw the Devils in the board. The Augur comes back, but we also have just a cancel. Maybe just cancel. I think 2 Augurs is where it like, I don't know if we want more Augurs. Would you play 3 Augurs? I'm going to stick with 2. I felt 2 felt like as much as I wanted to be yesterday. Oh, and a Magmut. All right. Thanks, table. Here's that Ogre anyway. You can, but we're just clogged at 4. I mean, you can just get your hand clogged with 4-drops is the thing. $20 on the grind today. No red-blue uncommons. That's too bad. Would have been really nice to either that or the Dowser. You know, something to get back some stuff from the graveyard. How many Frantics does it take to make them strong? To make them strong, I think 3. To make them playable, 1. I mean, you can play 1 to have cycle 2, but you know, grudgingly playable at 1. If desperate, okay at 2, and they start getting strong at 3. That would be my take. 9 cuts to make. Let's take a look at what we got. 16-16 on the split. Oh, I was in the wrong spot. That's why I was covering up those numbers. I was in deck building during draft, but we made it through. Somehow, some way. What? Cutting the Arsonist. Maybe 1 Fiend. Certainly 1 Ogre, if not both. I think 2 Ogres. We're in that tutelage spot. I think we just run. I guess we could cut it if we thought we were. But it's a fine fallback plan. I think we're going to be 16 land. Although, again, actually, maybe we should be more, because we have the ability to thrill away flood. So I should really not do that. We should actually play more land because of our double thrill and our tutelage. Let's put this where it belongs. We're going to cast that on turn 3. Maybe we can drop an ogre here. We have some flyers of our own, so the reach isn't as important. Now where are we at? 11, 16. Can we cut one unsubstantiated? I like these less when we can't do the spell recursion thing. I think one unsubstantiated is fine. With 2 shocks. Boy, this is tough, though. Maybe cut a cancel. Maybe cut Capture Sphere. It doesn't make the augurs bigger, and we have Soul Seer, we have Turn to Slag, we have Double Shock. And we have Unsubstantiate for some interaction. So I think we can get away with no Sphere. Evan doesn't like the Larcenist. I liked it from a sense of drawing for the tutelage, but you're right, we can let that go. It's not particularly aggro. I like the thrills, though. Maybe this is fine. What about this? Hodge likes the Larcenist over the thrill. It's true, but thrill... What I love about thrill is it allows us to play 17 pretty comfortably, knowing that we can manage flood, and it makes the augurs bigger. So I'm definitely running 2 thrills. You could talk me into a Larcenist over a cur, sure, but you can't talk me out of 2 thrills. And Mountain for Island called. Let's see what we need most of first. Yeah, Double Shock, narrowly edging out Island for which one should get the most. And then I'm going to go... Nobody's redeemed lands today. I'm going to go pick some. I've been enjoying seeing what jumpstart lands we have. Using those. I love the Electric Mountain. And we'll go with Waterfall Island. Now that we pulled the counterspell, it likes the mountain. It gives mountains the edge as well. All right. Fun looking final deck. I like that in this case we're doing it both. We had a deck like this before where we had like, what, 2 or 3 wizardries and 2 tutelages, and we kind of did one or the other. In this case we're doing both. And it's kind of like plan A is aggressive and tutelage is a fine fallback plan. They can just certainly beat some decks one hand tied behind its back. So, and on that front, let's see, we've got 2 augurs, singers. What can we do about singing? The singers. It's like fat lady singing, or let's go. Well, there's thrill, thrilling concert. I miss live music. All right, how do you think we're going to do today? average, that is. How do you think we're going to do today? That's a little land heavy. We do have those thrills, and we do have those augers, though. So between the augers and the thrills, I actually like keeping this. And Oppo going first. It's a little bit floody, but we have flood valves in this deck, so I'm going to keep. Hello, Blade Fury Live. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. We're doing a last hurrah of M21 here. Probably the last M21 I'm going to play till it does some weird comeback. I'm going to go ahead and shock that. That's really nice to have the shock 4, and we get to Magmut on 2 into Singer on 3. I was saying before you showed up, Raiders, that we kept a 5-land, 2-spell hand on the draw, partly because we have 2 Thrill of Possibilities and 2 Augers in the deck that really help us unflood ourselves. So we're going to hold lands as we get to that point. And I'm gonna, let's see, it could be the +1/+1 and hexproof instant, but I'm gonna go ahead and trade Magmut for that if they want. And really, I should have just held back and accepted the 1 point. Maybe this will work, and Baptista will take the 2 here. But really, I traded 1 point of damage for a bluff. That was not worth it. I should have just taken the guaranteed 1. We'll see if that 1 point comes back. They could be at 19 right now. A lot of people just take that there. They're not going to want to give up their snare spinner, so there's some value. It's not like it was a guaranteed 1 versus some chance at 2, but that chance wasn't 100%, so. All right, well, we do have tools to unflood ourselves, but we do need to find them, or it's not going to matter. I'm also notorious for forgetting my pings, though, so I'm going to look for tools to remind myself. There we go. A little post-it note on screen to remind me to ping. Just a little visual distraction generally is enough for me. Well, lots of reach from Oppo here. Maybe we're going to need to do the tutelage plan. We're also just outclassed. They could start attacking with that Mauler. They don't want to, though. I guess I wouldn't have, I'm glad they didn't. I didn't want to have to decide, but I will remember to ping. I saw the post-it note and remembered. Hey, look, it's our unclogger. Let us unclog right now. And another unclogger waiting in the wings. But we're going to drop another land so we can play the Larcenist. And we could offer Singer for Snare Spinner, but I don't like that. We'll find maybe a 2-spell turn where we can get through the Snare Spinner. Or find some of our removal and just kill it. I like the Larcenist Hobbletheme combo. I don't think I've had these two before, but I'm noting that we can attack with the Larcenist, draw the card, and then actually just make the Hobbletheme bigger. It turns the Larcenist into a floor of draw a card, into a floor of draw a card and add a 1/1 counter. Yeah, Ogre has reach too, yep. Yikes. Wouldn't mind that card in this deck. That would be fun. Fun spell from Oppo. Let's see if we can beat it. It does nothing now, but it's going to start raining pain, I imagine. Oh, maybe it can. It could shock. It could now shock. Double shock would... Well, if they have double shock, they should do it before we can untap with mana for the Hobblefiend. I'll say that. Wow, we're getting all of our uncloggers. Oh, did I forget to ping? I think I forgot to ping, didn't I? Darn it! I did. Or did I? I forgot to ping! Even the note didn't help. Well, the note moved. Here, I gotta put it in a better spot. I'm gonna try to put it on the button. Post-it note failed me, but I had it in a weird spot. Let me try it on the button. Where's D? That's a legit punt to fail to ping. Yeah, let's... I don't know if we want to necessarily drop Augur this turn, but I'm going to start with the with this, with the Thrill. Now I'm going to go Reign of Revelation over Augur, and we can do the... I'm going to attack... Like... I won't be able to do the Larcenist for +1/+1 counter on Hobblefiend trick, but I'm still going to accept taking the card here. This is an instant, right? All right, just making absolutely sure. Why? To get the card. Also, it encouraged that block, which is good. And we get the Rain. All right, I like it. I didn't want to send Hobblefiend because I really wanted to cast the Reign of Revelation there, which meant I couldn't activate the Hobblefiend, so I didn't want to risk any of this stuff. I believe you, D. I'll give you credit for snap punt. All right, now we worry. What is this going to do for Oppo? Sometimes nothing. You know, there's no guarantee that it's going to do something, but it looks like it's setting up to do a lot. I'm ready. I'm ready. D can't pump me this turn. All right, Augur. I like Augur pitching more lands to see what we end up with here. Or we could Soul Sear the Ogre and just get in with the Singer. We can even go... Maybe it's a... Singer Soul Sear this turn, Augur next turn. You like Augur into Seer? We do have... Yeah, we can do Augur into Seer. Let's do that. Okay, that's fair. We're going to have to cast a... But I'm gonna risk... I'm gonna pitch 2 lands and risk it. We need to find another land. Yeah, that's fair. Both Singers in play before Seer is also fair. The Weird could get out of hand, but I think we can race the Weird if we clear the path for these Singers, is what I'm thinking. How about Singer Augur then? I'm going to go Augur first, try to find another land, and then go Singer and save the Soul Seer for next turn. And then we can actually see, maybe we'll want to Seer the Weird, you know? But hopefully we find one more land on top. And if not, at least we've drawn a bunch of action. All right, there's our one more land. There's our Singer. And now we pass. Hold on. I gotta ping at the right time. I'm ready though. Here, I'm gonna hold. I'll sit here and hover over the mutt. Maybe that'll help. Well, Oppo should know. Oh, he's trying to remember to use that thing. so nerve-wracking to be facing off a double vision, but right now it's just been a 5-mana mulligan. But I don't expect that to stay true. That's pretty cool. And I gotta remember, so I haven't played this spell a ton. I screwed up in one of our recent events playing blue-red because I forgot that it returns a spell. I allowed, I think, a Gaggle Master to enter the battlefield, and the life gain was critical, whereas I could have just bounced it in spell form and would have won the game. So I'm just saying it out loud to remind myself of the of the basically counterspell mode of unsubstantiate. But at this point, we are going to sear the ogre, see if they've got anything to stop it, and try to get in with flyers here. And with unsubstantiate available, I like sending the augur, because I would go ahead and trade it for both of these. And if they do anything to get tricksy, we have unsubstantiate to correct things. Could even send Hobble Fiend on the threat of activation, but I don't really want to sack any of these, so but I also don't, like, basically, are we willing to give up a Hobble Fiend on this Mauler to get through 8, 9, 11 damage, bringing him to 6, 5 with the Mutt? That's pretty good. But I think we have a good attack anyway, even without it, so we may just get that damage anyway. Let's go ahead and attack and leave Hobble Fiend back. Want to bet, Razor? Exactly. That's what I mean, Hannah. So since we have the unsubstantiate play to save the augur anyway, we don't even need to try to attract the Mauler away from double blocking the augur. We really want to encourage it. I'm with you, Rob. If they do take it, we might not, I'm down with just letting that go. I'm fine trading augur for these two creatures if that's how it plays. Really, the unsubstantiate is for shenanigans, not for trying to blow them out further. This is fine. Yeah, we should put weird first, though. You're right. Nope. Offer accepted, Oppo. And we can even get to go Elder. And I don't think we're blocking anything with the Mutt, so I'm just going to do that before I forget. You're not wrong, Rob. I did it right then. It's just the only reason not to do it is if you think your opponent might be on. It doesn't even matter. Swift response would still get it when you did it in end step. So unless you think you're wanting to threaten to block with the Mutt, it just doesn't matter. So better to do it to ensure I remember. So Oppo probably, I don't know. We don't know whether Oppo is correctly playing double vision or not. I think you're going to want 6+ nice targets before you're going to want to run it. But we saw basically, it's interesting because we saw Spellgorger Weird and Double Vision screaming that this is a spell heavy deck, but literally saw no other non-creature spells besides the Double Vision. But that's just how their deck drew, I guess. You think just a couple, though? I mean, but you want enough of a density so that you get some payoff, because what happened to Oppo there is obviously just disaster. They paid 5 mana to mulligan. They paid 5 mana to have this double vision do literal 0 that game. Again, not saying it's not correct they're playing it, just saying that's how their deck played out that time. They're playing green-red. That usually means big stuff. We could justify a Capture Sphere potentially here. Maybe even over a turn to Slag. Capture Sphere, the 6/6, where Slag can't get it, but Slag's pretty darn good. Yeah, I'm exploring your maybe, Haj. I'm curious if you would seriously consider that, like double vision and 2 Hunter's Edges, and that's it. Like I would never do that. I don't think that's close. Yeah, the sphere is nice with the reach. Could even do it. Maybe I just cut the Larcenist, which was pretty underwhelming there. Yeah, unsub for the big stuff too, but that's where the capture sphere is for. So we're already addressing that, I think, with the addition of the sphere. So I'm going to run with that. Yeah, 6 was where I put the line, Surion. But if they were all like Hunter's Edge quality level, you could get away with less. Get away with fewer. Yeah, exactly. If it's just in, like, now you might be talking Haj with 3 of them and some card draw like that. And the ability to ramp out the enchantment itself. This is an easy keep, though, with Thrill. Nothing to put the Rousing Read on yet, but Thrill makes me quite happy with this hand. Thrilled, you might say. What do you think of an option to see your and Oppo's deck after the game is finished? Nope, I don't like. You can't give people the ability to pry into other people's decks without them knowing. I mean, if you do something in game to look through their library, that's one thing, but extracting their deck and showing it to you is almost like an invasion of privacy that I would not stand for as a designer. Yeah, you could opt in. If you wanted to opt in, share decks, that would be kind of cool, but I would never force it. We'll go with 2 toughness. Well, we can go with Hobble Fiend. I mean, there's basically, they have shock or not, and I guess I'd rather they shock the Hobble Fiend. Although, if it is shock, Magmut wearing a Rousing Read gets out of shock range, but with Dragonfire around, we're still talking about common level removal that could be a problem anyway. I will go with Rousing Read here, though. Why not? Gets us our card back. Coast is clear. Spellgorger, weird. Could get really big on us, but hey, our Capture Sphere that we brought in for those types of problems is in hand, so we've got that. Well, I don't understand what you mean by that. We can all see our own decks. Like, I don't know what you mean, I guess, D. What it has to do with your own. Shock would be cool if we can fire it off before the weird gets to 3. That seems unlikely. I'm going to be greedy and ditch a land here. We got our 4th land ready, and a lot of looting if we get stuck on land. Oh, yeah. You want to see what you would have drawn. I understand you now. I thought you were talking about sharing your deck with yourself. I like not allowing it because then it gets people out of that terrible habit. How about... we could thrill away something, but we have to choose what to thrill. We could thrill away the island, but then we're taking a huge gamble that we find another land for the entity. But shock the weird while the shocking's good is too hard to pass up, right? And then, hey, we have a Hobble Fiend for sack if absolutely necessary. I love the scry here. I'm going to keep being greedy on lands, I think. Like, we could scry the land, draw the Soul Seer, although then we're at just a single spell next turn anyway. Maybe we just want both. We can even go... well, I'm at 0 hourglass here. Trying to decide how greedy to be on this island. I'm going to be greedy. don't like keeping things to pitch. Why would you ever keep something to pitch? Just pitch whatever you draw. Like, right? I mean, like if the job of a card that you're leaving on top is to throw into your graveyard, you can just throw it into the graveyard and do that with a different card. It can do the same job, right? Well, but I still don't understand what you mean, though. Like, you're talking about keeping a card on top to discard it. What is the point of keeping a card on top to discard? I don't understand. You can discard anything. Augur. Oppo's got like half of our deck and then half of a green deck that's completely disconnected from it. So we can go Soul Seer, we could go Reign of Revelation. Do we want to kill anything here? We could get rid of this thing before it grows at all. I kind of want to, we could Thrill and Magmut to 2 spell. But what do we want to, I kind of want a Soul Seer here. Or rain. Maybe we don't care about either of these creatures right now, and we just rain. That's what I'm going to do. We're raining. It's raining. And another chance to be greedy with lands. And I'm going to take it. I mean, heck, Soul Seer plus Shock is practically good enough here. Yeah, they need a shock right now or we got it. Well, let's see if the Soul Seer gets there. A fine start to our event. A little quick 1-0. Quick-ish. I guess that wasn't hyper quick. Deck seems good. I don't know if this, maybe the second unsubstantiate is supposed to be in. That's one way to do it, Rob. You can't forget what you don't have access to. Apparently it's hard to find a matchup. A little dead air here as we wait for the system to find someone still playing M21 besides us. Hat laying out a fun challenge. Can we unsub our own shock for triple prowess trigger? I'm sure we can. Can we do it in a game correct situation? Yeah, it looks fine. Could use a 3, but having Elder on 2 on the play is nice. Come on, one time Elder is uncontested on turn 3 attack. Oh, well. It looks like we can offer a trade. And losing my bluff window here. I'm gonna with the green. I'm gonna offer it. They might not take it if the Glide Master is important to them with blue green and launching big flyers. Yeah, that's great. They let us do a loot, but we're also threatening potentially instant speed, making it a blowout. So I don't blame them for not blocking. It's a risky block on their part. Next turn, we'll have rain at instant speed. Looks like we'll have to stay back on D, though. We could maybe let them hit us with the Harbinger once and then slag it the turn after. They're offering the Glide Master for the Hobble Fiend. Presumably because they don't want us to, like, to block and trade with it with the Harbinger, but they can spend 3 and make the Harbinger fly. So I'm going to go ahead and take this trade. I really don't want them making this thing fly, although we're going to slag it soon enough, but I don't want them to make other things fly, and I'd rather trade the Hobble Fiend than the Elder for this in terms of 2-drop trades. Opt. Let's go ahead and opt. Should I opt? If I opt, I might actually be able to find another spell that makes the Elder be able to attack into the Harbinger, or we could opt. Yeah, I'm going to opt now, I think. Opt in Oppo's turn and hope to block. I think we just are probably going to let him have to take one hit from the Harbinger and just slag it next turn, and that's okay. And actually, I'm just going to rain. And in that case, not attack at all. We're just going to say no attacks. Well, we're thinking about blocking it to try and avoid getting any value out of it, right? But I think we can let him get that one piece of value. The main thing is the slag resolves, and hopefully they find a creature and then play it so that we can resolve the slag. Oh, because you used slag, which is a non-offensive American English word, but is an offensive British English word. And somehow, we cannot teach it to remember slag forever. We have to teach it every single time, it seems. There's a Stalker. Now I want to see him play it, so that we can for sure resolve our slag. And they do. Now let's go ahead and rain. Too bad the Lofty is a little late. What are we ditching? I think we can ditch the mountain. No, we need to. I want to be sure we slag. I'm not going to take a chance on not drawing a land. So instead we ditch We're about to have a denial be good with the Singer. Reed seems hard to give up, so maybe we just give up the Opt here. All the other stuff seems more valuable. Of course, if we knew the island was on top, I would just pitch the mountain, but I had to be sure we had this slag here. And yeah, I'm gonna slag now, pump the Elder, and then attack. And Oppo can trade for the Elder or give us another loot. I don't know if you all can hear it, but they're building a house 2 doors down, and it's making for some vibrating ground here and there. Yeah, that's that. There you go. That's exactly what that's what I'm talking about, Hat. That's what you're hearing. I'm liking Augur here. I should read this tome. This just draws a bunch of cards, right? Scry or draw, and then exile it and gain 4. So yeah, just draw a bunch of cards and gain life. That's fine. That's a good card. But yeah, we can go Singer, hold up, denial, and maybe even hold the island and see if we get another land to pitch to the Augur. We might just play the land. I kind of like holding it though. I like the play though. I like Rob's play of Singer, hold up, denial. I just think we hold the land for the Augur. Hannah likes the Singer, hold up, denial. Just wanted to do it next turn. Holding up denial without a flyer at this point in the game is pretty weak. So that's why I didn't want to, like, quote, hold up denial without a flyer in play. That's worth countering. Yeah, I love the idea of putting Rousing Reed on the Augur, right? And we do a second land to pitch to it, so we'll do that. Next turn we have Tutelage, Magmut, or Reed, Magmut. Probably Tutelage, Magmut, and then Reed the turn after that. Hey, Tron. Storm-based power outages. Stay safe. Glad you're here. Electricity is awesome, huh? There's that hum. If you're hearing a hum, it's related to the construction going on down the street. It's really annoying. I don't know how it sounds on your end, but it's annoying to me. All right, with the land draw, let's just go Tutelage and then probably into the Rousing Reed, but I'll hold the land in case we want to mill it. I did. It is done. I have your review, but I need to focus on this game. Ask me when we're... well, Hat heard it, so I'm glad that the rest of you can't, because it's really annoying. Fly, little auger. Or big auger, really. Oh, finally subsided. I don't know, we'll see how long it lasts. Gotta discard a card here with the... You just discard the Thrill. I think Shock and Magmut are both fine, and Thrill immediately increases the auger. Oh, it's back. What a smack. $14 cards. Will we get him with damage or milling? By all means, Oppo, loot away, loot away. Well, remember, part of our 10 last turn was pitching the thrill. The thrill got us a point last turn. Yeah, we'll try. Let's see. We go. Let's go face. We can start with an attack, see if they do anything in response, and then shock to try and win. Certainly not going to use a shock on the visionary anyway. Even countered, it's lethal. All right, got game 1 here up against green, blue. Send big stuff in the air. It kind of just looks like green, blue beats. And on that front, we could find unsubstantiate or capture sphere as reasonable. Last time I cut a larcenist for that. And I think I do like that again for the green. Oh, this is hard for me. It's really... yeah, the construction sound is back big time for me. Yesterday we actually played Heroku app RNA draft. I don't like noise canceling headphones all that much. And also, this is like vibrating level bad, Rob. Like, I'm vibrating. I think it could be silenced and it would still be tough. No blue yet. But I'm going to keep on the strength of the Hobble Fiend and the Wizardry and know that if we get our island, we have tutelage, which looks really good against him. So I'm going to keep. I assume we're going to get early access. We have every set for a long, long time. I'm planning on streaming an early access stream on Wednesday. And if it turns out that doesn't exist, we'll deal with that when we get to it. Soulseer gives us more action without blue, but we do want an island. That would be the perfect draw. Then we get our 4th land and unlock our blue cards. Perfect. Thank you, deck. I'm just going to go right for the tutelage. I mean, I guess we could wait for the wizardry to, like, trigger them, but the earlier you get this going, the more oppressive it is, so let's do it. Oh, I see. I ended up Simic. Well, I'm going to pitch the Thrill, since I kind of like everything else in our hand, and we have a decent amount of mana. So let's just... although Thrill double triggers tutelage, so maybe if we're going towards tutelage, I should just keep it, and pitch, yeah, we could pitch Lofty Denial. We don't have the flyer for it. That's a good call. Let's pitch Lofty. You Lofty folks are correct. Oppo getting some value going with the Maze Mind. But so are we with the tutelage. If we draw a land, I like next turn we can unsubstantiate and thrill. And have Soul Seer, or even, you know, basically all of our whole hand operates at instant speed, which is super nice. And we don't care about that. I mean, that's good for us. That's actively good. It's all coming up Millhouse. Could even potentially block with... Yeah, I'm just going to attack and have all of these instant options ready. We didn't draft bots, though. It was offline. We drafted humans. Wizardry if they don't do anything worth unsubstantiating. But throwing away this land and unsubstantiating a spell or some creature they resolve seems really good as well. There's a second island. Let's see what they can do with that. Another truffle. Well, I certainly don't... Well, if I don't want the life gain, we could, like, unsubstantiate it, but I don't care about that card too much resolving. I'll be surprised if they go with life gain. Life gain doesn't really matter with the tutelage anyway. And by doing that before combat, we can unsubstantiate this one and take no damage on the turn. Oh yeah, I owe you a couple truffle memes. Hold on. Gotta find them.
He's a big pig. Yup, yup. You can be a big pig too.
I'm kind of going for the tutelage approach here. They're not showing the ability to stop it. I mean, they're playing green, so maybe they added naturalize effects. But with the thrill, double activating and everything, and the Soul Seer for control, I think we just win off of tutelage unless they find the natural... unless they find that. All right, so we're going to win off of something else. Another creature, we can't sack it. We're going to do this. It still could get them far enough into their deck that if the game goes long, we win off of not milling, but failing to deck ourselves first, you know? At 20 to our 25. Actually, with the cards I've got, we probably end up catching up on that front. We can go Wizardry, Shock, Hobble Fiend. I don't love what Hobble Fiend's doing here. I'm just going to pass. And we'll Wizardry and then have Shock Soul Seer to make 3/3s the next turn. Yeah, we can also just shock the this Truffle Snout on the way down. Might mean their library's glitched for the rest of the game, yeah. At least it's not making noise. It could be a lot worse. One tutelage in this deck, yeah. Actually, a little more tempo-oriented. The tutelage is like more the backup plan than plan A. So we exhausted our backup plan, and now we're back to plan A. You think don't shock because you want the extra wizardry oomph? Yeah, that's true. We just give him life that way, and we can soul sear it anyway. I like your point, Rob. Let's let him do it. Oh, they're not doing it. Must have counter magic here. Do we give him the wizardry? I'm inclined to offer it. I mean, what else? What's our plan otherwise? At least it clears the way to like soul sear the truffle snout, and then we could shock the other one. I'm okay with that. Less okay with the cards they're drawing here, but they're almost done with this as well, so we're not that far back on cards anyway. Oh, did they show another one in the yard? If they show 2 Return to Natures, then yeah, that's probably a good idea. Because we just have tutelage and... well, there's Rousing Reed. I don't really care if they do that because we already got the value out of it. Capture Sphere is the one we would pull, though. Maybe even the Rousing Reed as well. We'll figure it out in sideboarding. But let's go with the plan where it's not necessary because we win this one. That's where I'm going to go with. I also like leaving the 2 lands, given the augurs we have. It was going to be then or upkeep, and it didn't. They had so much mana it didn't matter. I guess technically I could have made them use mana in their upkeep, sure, if they had something. It just didn't feel like they had anything. And looks like they didn't get to choose life instead. They have to choose their mode, and then we get to respond. So there was no worry about them gaining life, just as a rules point. I wasn't sure how that was going to play, so... 8 attacks with the Hobble Fiend, that's all we need now. So they got a lot of nice value out of that Maze Mind, but we've got augurs lurking in the deck that are going to give us serious value off of these islands. They got a nice fistful now, though, although, again, creeping towards empty library. And if we find any reasonable collection of spells from the top of our library coming up, I think we can make it till they're milled. I think we're advantaged here, despite the current, 2 land. We don't know how many, what they've got here, but if this is like 3 spells, they've got us 4 spells to 2. Not sure we sphere that, but maybe we should. I don't know how many other options we're going to get that we care about, and if we do find something like Augur, what I don't want is to be tripped up on mana next turn. Yeah, this is a May. They can stop looting. Well, if they do, they're going to use it on the capture sphere. Let's find out. I'm going to use it because we don't actually win the race if we don't. Yeah, I get it, Tron, but they're 12 cards away from their library being empty. They didn't cast something huge on that turn, so we're presuming that of their 12 remaining cards, something better and bigger than Pride Malkin is not only in there, but it's going to be like on top coming out next turn, right? Like, I just feel like if we look at where this game is at in terms of the resources in play, I like taking the chance. Now they may do it. They may drop a 6/6 here, and we go, ah. But I think in the average case, I like preventing the damage here, especially given that we're trying to draw action as well. And in our ideal world, we used up too much mana this turn to even be able to capture Sphere. So that was another factor for me as well. Yeah, you thought that was a test balloon? That's possible as well. Maybe they already have the big one, like the Warden. Is this a May? That's May as well. So I was saying we're fine if we just find any kind of action in our deck. And of course, having said any kind of action and we're fine, we have found 0 action. They still seem to continue looting. Maybe they feel confident with the Warden that they can get there. Yeah, the Fiend was holding off the cat. I don't know. It's a lot of factors, but in the end, I think it made sense given everything we knew. But right now, we're just getting super unlucky with our draws. How about... What do we got left in land? We got 7 lands in 17 cards, so still possibilities of drawing land. We got something here though. I love it. Maybe they had more big stuff, Tron, but we don't know that. Well, we didn't know that. Again, I stand by my thought process even though it's not quite working out for us here. Also, run afoul. So forced block now. This has trample. This doesn't. We're going to start chumping. We can also... I can see what's going on. I don't... Oh, now it wigged on me. Hold on, let's try. Looks like there's an update or something on Cardboard Live. Huh. Trying to restart it here, see if that does anything. Trying to figure out what we're chumping with. We could chump with the Singer and make the Hobble Fiend 3/2. And then, but I don't know what that does for us. Still, we can't win with the Singer, so I like increasing the size of the Hobble Fiend instead. Maybe we find a 3 power that can somehow block the Dreadmaw. Still not out of this. I like Kinetic Augur into Unsubstantiate. That would help. They are really pushing it on their library. Hey, it's the Augur. Just what I asked for. Let's see what we can do with it. What do we want to draw? We're going to have 3 or 4 mana. We have Shock. We have Rain. Really, that's about it. maybe we don't have enough here to actually do what we want to get done. So really we need an unsubstantiate. Then we can block the Warden and bounce the Colossus and actually potentially win this thing. Rousing Reed gives us some extra toughness, which we might need to not just die to the trample here. Although I guess we have Augur on Colossus to go to 1. And then Reed on Hobblefiend chumps. So maybe Hobblefiend's just chumping the Warden anyway. So really I want the Rousing Reed on the Augur to prevent 1 extra point from the Dreadmaw. Their library is at 6. And the second Augur can block the Warden, so now Oppo's in a spot where they need action. I'm not going to presume they're not going to find it, but at least we actually, you know, if things don't change, we actually have this one. I'm expecting they will, but nice to at least have a plan. Our library's at like teens, 13. I suppose maybe they could get us on library with a Reign of Revelation, but then they're self-milling too, so seems tough. I can't quite do the mill math. I'm just going to see how it goes. But it's possible maybe I don't have the luxury to pitch anything with the new Augur, and we just use it as a large blocker for the Warden. Yeah, we'll do a little bit more math, Hanthor, as we approach that end game here. I mean, fundamentally, they've got 4 more cards to draw, which means they have 8 more tutelage mills, plus our natural draws, which is actually enough. So we're behind now on the milling front. We'll see what they want to do. Maybe they don't attack. I think like it still forces blocks. All right, well, that was a lot of thinking to just win the game. Maybe they didn't see it. Lord knows I miss my wins here and there, but that seems pretty straightforward. Yeah, we just don't have... with the trample, we can't win, so... Or actually, wait, if there was 1 land, we could chump the air and get big enough on the ground. Now, even then, the trample does it, so yeah. Now, I think I like cut Capture Sphere, cut Tutelage, leave the Reed. They can go ahead and use their Naturalize on the Rousing Reed after it's already drawn us cards. We just have to remember that our flyer might lose flying and +1/+1 mid-combat. But yeah, cancel's fine. As a bring in, we can bring back... Oh yeah, let's bring in the other unsubstantiate. I think I like that. And we're on the play. Let's get aggro, close this thing out. Yeah, ogres are a consideration. I think it's a fine middle ground that we found. Lofty denial. This is all keepable. It's not as aggressive as we want, but denial on 2 is going to get something, and we can thrill if there's nothing worth getting. And then we have rain. We basically have 2, 3, 4 here. Yeah, it's spell or well, maybe creature or spell. Yeah, we kept in one target for their double naturalize, but it's a target that, if they can hit it, has already drawn us extra cards, so I don't care if they use naturalize on it. We just have to be aware. As I said, we have to be aware that at instant speed they could take a rousing read off of our flying creature. Obviously, we have to decide if we deny here, if they play something. Probably yes, but if they don't do anything, we get to thrill at the end of turn, ditch a mountain, and that's fine as well. Also, disguises are pausing, although Lofty Denial does not create pauses because it's a counterspell. You need a spell on the stack before that would create a pause. And I guess I'll represent an extra red spell like a shock. That's an easy counter. I mean, they've shown counters of their own. I'm going to go ahead and rain and leave shields down. If they play something big, we just slag it, right? So let's rain while the deck that has shown us counter spells has shields down. Pretty easy land pitch there. Double unsub, but we have no aggression. We have no threat. There we go. We can start threatening there. And I'm going to go ahead and augur away our lands. I'm going to be greedy about it. We'll find another one for that slag. And in the meantime, fill up. There we go. Yeah, we'll opt if we need to. You can even do it now. If they want to counter the opt, that's fine. We can do unsub into the entity as well, given all of our mana. So, yeah, unsub, even returning our own augur would be nice. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, we don't need to, as long as we have an unsub that we want to do, we don't need to save opt. Shock, decent. But I'm going to go unsub the augur and play the Stormwing. And then we get shock up after that. With the augur, I also like leaving the island in hand. Again, we're going to be super greed. Super greed. And with augur, I also want the thrill, so I'm going to keep the thrill too. Look at this. 2 lands at the bottom. Are they showing guile pauses? Oh, run afoul. There you go. Not that at all. Too bad we don't have mana for the other unsubstantiate. We did know that they were running that. They got our best one too, not a simple singer. They got our good one. Bummer. Augur's nice though. We're still gonna come back nicely, I think. Rain is pretty good. Yeah, we'll do it. 854, we got it. I'm slow, but I'm not that slow. But I appreciate the reminder. If I forget about it, that's no good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the counterspell mana that we've seen down. I'm gonna go ahead and augur away Thrill and Island here. And I want to keep an Island up, though, in case of unsubstantiate, which I think is going to be more useful than Shock. Boy, it'd be nice if we could untap with Cancel and Augur. Can't bounce this and recounter it or whatever, but maybe Augur can race this if we can just untap with Cancel. Yeah, we got a heck of a set of shields. We just need to untap. All right, all right. Okay. Gonna go ahead and play the land now. We get Hobble Fiend, Shock, and Cancel all available here. And Unsubstantiate to that extent. Not gonna shock for extra augur value or anything though. We're gonna let that grow naturally. Really just need Unsubstantiate plus Cancel to give us a couple more turns attacking with this Augur and this Hobble Fiend. That is worth a Cancel. Yeah. We could unsub it too. Unsub and then Cancel. Get to use... Yeah, because then they use 2 turns of a lot of mana. Yeah, let's do that. And maybe just want to go face... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we get to 7, we don't have Slag plus Cancel, so that's not a consideration. So given that we can't Slag plus Cancel, we should probably just untap and then Shock if we want to on our turn. Rousing Reed. Here is the possible use for their Naturalize. They're tapped out right now, though, so we can throw this on the Hobble Fiend, and that gives it evasion and allows it to attack. And we still have the Cancel. Interesting. I think Wizardry is our least important card here, actually. So I'm going to ditch it. Usually it's a quite exciting card to have access to, but here we don't need it. 9, 10, 11, 12 can almost... Well, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, if they're not going to block, we win. They need to find a block here or we win the game. They found it. So we're just going to accept what we get and keep up the cancel. Hard for us to lose here with the cancel. They need 2 things that stop the auger for 7 mana total or whatever. Not impossible, I guess. I don't know, although Capture Sphere is kind of one of the things you need, and they can't do 2 of those. And even then, we could just eat the auger, make this a 4/2, 4 whatever, and shock for the 6. So feels like we're locked in here. That almost doesn't even matter given that, but I'm going to go ahead and cancel it because, yeah, they can't win. Nice. So before we head into the third match, I think I'm going to cut the Larcenist. We keep cutting it, and it keeps being very whatever here. We keep bringing in Capture Sphere, so we could start there. We could also just bring in Cancel, which is a catch-all, and bring in Capture Sphere when we think it's good. Kind of leaning towards that line. Oh, wait, here. It's going to take a second anyway. Tron, are you still here? Tron's here, right? Maybe not. Well, Tron, you let me know if you're here, and I'll tell you about what I think of your song. Probably going to have to wait in this queue for a bit anyway as they look for a worthy opponent. Ah, there's Tron. Yeah, I don't know. I looked for your name in the chat, the viewer list, and I didn't see it, but maybe I just missed it. So Tron had me listen to the song, let me find it. Oh Lord by Foxy Shazam, a 2010 album. I really loved the band name. Foxy Shazam is a great band name, and certainly checked a lot of my boxes. I was surprised it was a 4-minute song. It felt like it jammed 8 minutes of stuff into it. It kind of reminded, it's a little bit insulting to try to reduce an artist down to other artists that they sound like. I don't mean to be insulting, but it's where my music brain goes to do comparisons. And my comparison points were, it had kind of the Baroque pop feel of a Sufjan Stevens album, but also with a Meatloaf. It was kind of like Meatloaf Stevens, you know what I'm saying? So from, like, I don't know if our buddy Zach is here, but Zach, who works in Broadway, would love that song. I don't know if Zach, if Zvazda is around, but Zvazda should check out Oh Lord. So congratulations, you made it to my big playlist. I did add Oh Lord by Foxy Shazam to my 2,000+ song shuffle play playlist. So you did it. It's not easy to crack that playlist. I listened to it a couple of times, just a lot going on. It's almost like you picked all of the things I love songs doing and found a song that did like 5 of them. Oh, look, they go super quiet, and then there's a chorus of only singers singing for a little bit. Oh, look, I wouldn't call myself a Snarky Puppy fan. I don't think I have any Snarky Puppy songs on my my big playlist, but I don't hate them. perfect timing. Little song review into match number 3. Oh, did I note our win? We're 2-0. 2-0 and a nice looking opener. No, you can't. That's my palette. I can't share that playlist or I spoil the upcoming year's worth of starting soon songs. Trying to do a quick pass with the shock to not show that we have it. But too late on that now. Let's go with the old Hobble Fiend. Well, I think they like I said, they had a lot of stuff that was right in my wheelhouse for sure. This screams of Sanctum deck. Scary when a Sanctum deck is 2-0. But let's see what we can do about this. Do we want to have Shock up or Opt up? If they're all about Sanctums, we might want the Opt up over the Shock. But let's start with an attack anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna leave up the Opt so that we can do some digging in response to what they might pull off here next. If they play something shockable, well, we just untap and shock it, right? And shock that we will. Elder? Yeah, we'll keep Elder. Looks like if they're doing Sanctum-y stuff, they might not be able to get a good creature base down, in which case this could all be good for us. Could leave up the unsub as well, but we'll save that for later. Shock the Viz. Ooh, another thing to possibly shock here, but we'll see if they want to use the Immolator first. We might just go with using Hobble Fiend to get some value out of whatever they kill. We can also unsubstantiate whatever they might target if we wanted to do it that way. Could even do like shock the Immolator, unsub the target, but let's just attack and potentially do that with however they act on blocks. I'm gonna send everything though. I don't know, Tron. But I mean, I hear a ton of songs. I hear, I bet 1% of the songs I hear make the playlist, if not smaller. So yeah, in this case, I'm happy to just trade Hobble Fiend off. If they want to trade 1-for-1 there, that's fine. If they go to try and get something like the Elder, well, then I can maybe shock face and save the Elder. We'll see. Interesting. So now I like shock the Immolator and potentially save whatever they go for from here. But maybe just let him immolate too. Because if we just let this happen, then the Hobble Fiend gets eaten, and we can't allow that. If they go for the Elder, we could unsubstantiate, like, even the potentially the Frantic inventory just to save the Elder. But they're just going for the Hobble Fiend in the end of the day anyway, so I'm not even going to save it. I'm going to say that's a fine trade. I don't want to do that, Hat. You're just trying to get fancy. Hat wants to check that box. We can pump, though. It leaves unsubstantiate down, but I'd rather go for damage here. Even get the Mutt, because it's coming up Millhouse. So far, anyway. There's that other Sanctum I was waiting for. I knew this had to be a Sanctum deck with those lands and that red Sanctum. And now the red Sanctum gets rough. But they're close to dead. It's kind of a race to get them here. See what we can do. Maybe need to unsub one of these if they go for this again. Trouble with these Sanctums, it just means like all their draws are live. Either they're drawing shocks or better. We can't. This is not. These aren't creatures, or else I would absolutely unsub. Yeah, you all wanting to unsub shrines are forgetting that while it can target spells on the stack, it can only target creatures on the battlefield. No, I didn't even have to read. I just knew. This isn't a reading stream. I just knew that one. All right, we're gonna save our Mutt. Yikes. Well, Haj, I didn't count on him having two, or pew them. All right, well, we'll play the island so we can cancel. I'm trying, here, it doesn't ping. Summoning Sick into tapped down. Everybody's got tutelage. Well, no tutelage for you. Apparently, tutelage for them. Apparently, tutelage for us. $22-16. Right now, they're way ahead of us on the mill track. I guess they wanted to resolve it right then and there. Did they have the mana? I can't tell if they had. Maybe if they had the mana, that they could have done it that way. I don't know. Yeah, that's sicko. $16 to our 10 on library. We're gonna lose this game. We don't have any outs. Our out might have been our own Reign of Revelation, but we already used it. Thrills, I guess. How many do we have? Both? Yeah, we have both. Maybe the thrills are enough. We'll see. Feeling pretty grim here. Well, the thrills are still in there. Augurs. Are there any augurs left? Wow, it's all both augurs and both thrills are in. So we still could get there off of that stuff. Hodge likes our chances. Gotta cancel that or we mill too much. Oh, come on, deck. So mean. We have 6 cards left. 6 cards left. 2 of them are thrills and 2 of them are augurs. Wow. Wow. Thank you, deck. Oh, look, a thrill and an augur. Shocking. Let's see, where are they at? 8. Maybe this is still okay. Can we still do it? We might still do it. We might still do it. If this gets countered, though, we're in trouble. You can only pitch 2. Oh, baby. Huh? Oh no! We were out of cards. Oh well. It was the only out we had. I guess could I have waited till their turn? No, they would have just milled us on our turn. Well, maybe if I'd done it on their turn, we still had it, huh? Could I have done it if we? No, because we would have had to still have cast the thrill. And it would have just milled us to death on their turn instead. Ah, well. Ah, well. So close. I thought we had it. Instead, we had silliness. Maybe unsubstantiate? Got all these shrines. I don't know if we can do anything about them. Oh yeah, that's true, Hodge. Would we still get there though? Would that mill them enough? Would that, because I thought we needed to get them on, because they were at 8, right? And then we only mill them for 6, and then they have 2 cards. They draw 1, go to 1 card, and then kill us. So no, we're not going to respond with a deck increase. I think we could. I think so, Hodge, but maybe not. Maybe I missed that. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed that one. I'd have to go watch. Maybe somebody in YouTube will verify Hodge's line there. We could add more though. We have a lot of bulk creatures. Fewer 2 toughness. I mean, I don't know for what. Like we could bring in Ogre and cut a Singer. Bring in a bone pit to have some top end. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm gonna run it back and just hope that our strategy works this time. No blue is sad times, but with shock and magmut, I'm going to keep this and our tutelage and the rain. I'm keeping this. It's somewhat risky, but shock and magmut say it's keepable. Hey, nice. We'll go ahead and play the Elder then. Did we see lofties? We saw unsubstantiates, but that doesn't get rid of it for good. I'm gonna risk the lofty. Let's go ahead and pitch the island. We have a mountain coming up, so that's fine. Hodge wants the magmut. You know me, Hodge. I'm too greedy for that. Yeah, we could rain right now, and it would be a lot of cards, but I think they're going to go shields down again, and we should just go Elder Magmut. Yeah, we could just pass. That gives us shock and cancel. What are you thinking on the pass? Yeah, and then we can just rain at the end of turn. Sure, there's a lot of stuff we have. We have a lot of instant speed action here. The trouble is we give away the farm, and I'm gonna do what you're. I'm gonna take that turn you're all suggesting and do it next turn. I'm gonna give him one more shields down turn. I'm gonna go Elder Magmut. Because if we pass with the Elder known, they know that we're just holding up stuff. Not that they couldn't figure that out anyway. I'm going to just drop my creatures, and then we actually can do all this other instant speed stuff with actual presence on the battlefield, which I think is better. Big problem is that, like, maybe they come up with something we desperately wish we would have canceled. But I'm taking that risk. We'll see. Certainly not desperate to cancel that. Ouch! Maybe would have canceled that, but... You could go cancel. I like a rousing read, though, on the Magmut. Lets us participate in the damage race. It triggers the tutelage a couple times, and it leaves up shock. And then we can do cancel rain next turn. And pitching... Well, land is the greed play again. Am I that greedy? We do have rain coming, so yeah, I am that greedy. You think pitch singer? Why do we gotta play lands? Why don't you want to be greedy with me? Foil King wants to be greedy with me. Stormfire wants to be greedy with me. All right, I'm going to be greedy. Enough people want to be greedy with me. I'm doing it. And could hold back, but the Magmut can't block first strikers anyway, so... I guess. It's in this game state, but I still think... Yeah, we'll see. Maybe that was too greedy, but with the Reign of Revelation, I just am not worried. And I think a Singer could matter. If we end up... I mean, Oppo's giving it up, but if we blocked with a Singer, it could matter. All right, we get a chance. Now we're going to be on the draw against... What more do we know about this monstrosity? Which I say lovingly. I think this is a creative, fun-looking deck. Yeah, that felt early for sure, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just trying to figure out if we're changing anything again with getting creature heavier, reducing 2 toughness. But if we reduce 2 toughness, it means basically reducing 2 drops, which I'm not happy with. Now, when we get rid of the Hobble Fiend for like a cur, because then at least with one toughness means that Red Sanctum alone can like take out a Hobble Fiend with a land. You like the Turret Ogre or the Unaki? Which ogre are we talking about? Sure, we can do that. Oops, we can do Turret Ogre as well potentially. Shock maybe doesn't do too much in this matchup. That's a reasonable call. They do have the Llanowar Visionary, which is great. But truly haven't seen too much else for it. So you could be right that a shock, we could give up 1 shock for something else, for even a Capture Sphere. Scoos? I don't even know what you're talking about. Haj likes the shock. Oh. Oh, they have a Scavenging Ooze. Okay. Thought you were telling me to play one. I was like, what? We're not green and don't have a Scavenging Ooze. All right, keepable. Maybe we thrill on 2, but if we wait, we can thrill with Singer going. That stinks. Boy. I feel like I haven't been able to get an Elder down unchallenged on 2 this whole match, but Oppo's going to do it to us. We'll go ahead and thrill, I think. Really dislike that they're getting a free shot in with an Elder. Bah! Well, we can shock the Elder. That's nice. And we can even Stormwing after. So, Cranky Ryan, now Happy Ryan. That was an excellent turn 3. Lofty is going to be good. So is the Opt here. I'm just going to put Lofty first, though. We'll gladly draw that. Come on, Entity, hang in there. I'm getting ready, though, on Dragonfire. Heartfire is not Dragonfire. And if we Lofty, we can, let's see, you can't counter like an effect or whatever. We can go Magmut, hold up Lofty. And the Lofty may keep the Stormwing alive in the face of that Immolator getting a... Because if Oppo does something to prowess the Immolator, we can Lofty it to get the Entity to 4. Raid Captain was purchased by Intangible, and we're raiding the Mana Leak. Another old school content creator. That'll be fun. Yeah, sorry, I restarted that, and now I've got to log in. I got distracted. Okay, should be going on cardboard now. And indeed, we get Lofty to save our entity from the immolator. I kind of want to land, although we're not going to get it. We're going to get opt. Oh, great. Wow. I was looking ahead to how we were going to continue to protect our entity, but Oppo said, no worries, you can have it. Well, for now, we don't know what's in their hand. Yeah, Unaki and opt is fine, although we're going to opt now to get some extra wing damage. And I'm going to keep that, given the slag. Hey, Mobius, how you been? I think we'll slag that visionary to clear the way for the ogre, and it also buffs the entity. Gonna hold that island though. We got a lot of looting, so got to keep those lands for looting. Oppo clearly has a land because they're getting pauses, and the only thing that could, well, it could be opt, I suppose, but I expect that they just have a land that they could pitch to the Sanctum, but right now it doesn't do anything. They're frantic. Exploding Planeswalker? I think that's a Planeswalker. I don't know. Exploding Oppo, how about that? Now pitch land to get the ogre, okay. Gotta do what you gotta do, I respect that, Oppo. Cancel really just seals up the game for us. I can't figure out how they could get us from here now, because we get to drop Singer and hold up cancel. I suppose if they have an answer here, like if one of these cards is an answer for entity and they come up with another one, but even then we have entity plus Singer, that's pretty good. So, and we're put to that choice. Given that it gives us extra damage, I'm going to do it, because then it puts them to 2, and then the Singer becomes lethal, and they need to kill both creatures, so it's worth it. Now we present 2 lethal threats and hope that they're good enough. Maybe, Robert. I haven't counted my chickens yet. That's not enough. Unsubstantiate's not enough. I think we got it. Yeah! All right, great way to end the format. Woohoo! How many packs we got? Maybe we got packs to open. Hey, let's open some packs too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus the one we got on the start, so that's 9 times 20. $10. Worm. Planeswalker.
Ketra's teaching still guides.
11. 12. 12 gem cards. So many gems. We're awash in gems. Hey, maybe I need to figure out, are we supposed to get the mastery pass? Did we work out that it's worth it? We'll get 3,400 in gems back? I think so, right? That it's not amazing, but we still get the value. Let's test. So 3,000 in gold, in gold, 33 in. It's literally negative. Like we won't get, if I value 10,000 gold as 750 gems. Well, I don't care about worse. I care about, and also actually I do care enough about the bling. I'm going to do it. The EV proposition, while maybe it's worse, this account does care about bling. I offer bling as cosmetics for people to choose from in channel points and stuff. So if it's 2,800 gems plus a few hundred gems for cosmetics for the gang here, I'm in. Yeah, is that counting the draft token? Let's see. Oh, look at those pets I don't want. Doggy sleeves are cool, though.
Are the seeds.
Okay, so here's the fundamental. 4,000 is, let's see, if 10,000 is 750, 5,000 is half 750, so like it's about 300. 4,000 gems is about 300. 4,000 gold, about 300 gems-ish. So like 1,500 for gems plus 1,500 for a draft token is 3,000. So yeah, it's a little under, right? Oh, 15, right. 10K is 15, so 5K is 750. So 4K is a little under, like 600. Yeah, so 600 plus 1,200 is 1,800 plus draft token is 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Well, who was it? Evan had it. Evan B, 352, said it was 100 off, and if you count this as 600, that's exactly right. But so for 100 gems, we got all those cosmetics. Oh, and these though. So here's where we get our value as limited players. Because if we 4x these sets, we get extra gems from these packs. Yeah. So yeah, we're well ahead. Bunch of mythics we don't have. Fun open too, although this is the worst part. I'm not going to torture you all with this. 25 of these. Can I just suggest all picks, please? It's like you got to go dink, blonk, claim, dink, clonk, claim. No, thank you. I'll do that. Suggest saves like one click. It just picks for you. You can just sit there slamming the suggest, but it's still a pain that I'm not going to do. My biggest misplay of the day was we had 15 Core 21 set packs to open. I opened them all and then got 5 more. Should have just waited and had 2 10x opens, but instead I'm going to keep opening. We're going to open all these packs, clear out this account, and get one batch of gems to record. Yeah, bad sequencing for sure. Hey, Dylan, you're showing up right at the end here. We're going to raid raiding the Mana Leak soon, assuming the Mana Leak is still on air. I mean, it is my worst punt of the day, so I can't blame you all. I'm gonna have to count. Now I've lost count on my gems, which is my second worst punt of the day. I have to come back and watch this later. Nice. Go check in on Mana Leak's set review shortly. And this, you know, one reason I, even though I could technically like complete 4x of M21 or whatever, you know, we could use our mythic wild cards and go 4x some older sets. But the trouble is they keep throwing older set boosters at me. So I don't mind being a little short on mythics in some of these older sets because it just gives these prize packs something to do besides give us gems. I believe at Ikoria we made 4x on rares, but not mythics, so maybe we'll see some Ikoria mythics here. I hope you like pack opening, because that's what you're getting right now. All right, we are cleared out. Looks like we're in between the draft token and the plus 4,000 in gold and all of the gems we got from pack opening. We did just fine on that transaction. So that was great for us. And lots of new cosmetics so y'all can have fun with channel points in the future. But let's say goodbye to YouTube friends. Hope you enjoyed that final M21 experience and a lot of pack opening there at the end. I had a good time, and kudos on Core Set 2021 draft Wizards. I really enjoyed it. I did. I think, and it's really inspired me how to think about baseline drafting and cube. I mean, I really think they hit fundamental archetypes. Like often, Core Set draft is about simpler cards and fundamental flavor. You know, core high fantasy flavor. But in this case, it felt like it was about fundamental draft archetypes, and I really liked that as a Core Set thing as well. So very cool. I liked it, and thank you for hanging out for the final M21 draft. Oh, I'm getting rated. Well, thank you, Lola. Are you gonna make me have to draft again? What are you doing? Giving me a big raid right when I'm going off stream, huh? Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep it going. I was saying goodbye to YouTube, and we're gonna say goodbye, YouTube. See you, YouTube.